This is one of the most incredible places I've ever been, just for the sheer fact of like all the poverty, but it's still so beautiful. Like all this vast space and these wonderful people. I've never met more nice people in one place in my entire life. We're on the edge of the Sahara Desert, but you can really feel it. The silence, the flip-flops. We were driving around and we went down this back alley and we found this big, huge open field that had an abandoned house in it. And we were like, let's go check this out. So
there were no doors in there and you could just literally walk right through. And
it was out in the middle of this desert field and it just was quiet. And you could hear the call to prayer coming through in the wind and like through the doors, and there was just something surreal about that.
And then as soon as I stepped out through the door frame, you could hear the call to prayer. And that feeling where you're like, where the hell am I in this world? Like out on this earth, off the grid. It was strange. It was like a beautiful, bizarre sense of nothingness. And all of a sudden, you hear the sound of feet kicking a ball. And it's like you're not off the grid, you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
So here we got this from a yawi wailade or tampi wandade and digitis whatever or tampi rondade sad put whatever. Malejo tampere que les bords de fille de tapere. Malejo libéré prison to munko foftere. Malejo pousse.
So one of the things that I was most excited about in Nouakchott was the fish market. First we had to go through a checkpoint where our driver Mamadou was pretty pissed off that he had to pay just to get in.
Like it was big and it had a lot of people, but it wasn't like a tourist attraction. So it was almost like we're paying for parking. I think they were like hustling us.
Yeah, for the record, it's certainly not a tourist attraction.
Not at all.
But if you are in Nouakchott, definitely check out the fish market.
Yeah. When you see the vast amount of boats and you realize how much fish is being brought in and you see just the tables where they're all being prepared.
The smell is overpowering.
I think the moment that was really cool for me was sitting and having tea on the beach with these random, like our driver, he always did this, which was very odd. But anytime he was waiting for us, anytime our driver was waiting for us, he would go and like mingle with just random people. I don't think he knew these people.
Well, it was great having him because he was our in with meeting people. Yeah, that having tea on that beach, that was cool. Incredible. So Mamadou takes us to lunch. To a restaurant, and we're driving from place to place trying to find a good restaurant that we can eat at and experience Mauritanian food.
And the place we showed up was just a door.
A chicken in a red sauce with how would you describe this?
Okay.
What spice is that?
A lot of spice.
Right? Like cumin.
It's a lot.
Legit. You come to Mauritania, you gotta try the food.
When you're traveling somewhere, whether it's in the United States or Canada or Japan or the developing world, like try the food. Go out of your way and find some place that looks kind of intimidating because you're unsure about what's going to be served there, and dive in because that's usually the best food or the best experience you can possibly have.
We are walking around the market, the marché right now, in downtown Nouakchott. It's kind of chaos, but it's awesome. I don't know if you can see. I don't know how well the audio is on there. Assalamu alaikum. So we're just walking back through this whole market right here. There's a whole bunch of tarps and stuff everywhere. Assalamu alaikum.
No video.
No. I'm So we're just walking around. You want to talk to him? I'm not filming him, film me. Anna. So yeah, it's interesting walking around here because people in certain countries always receive the camera differently, and Mauritania's we found that our time here in Mauritania, people aren't so friendly to the camera.
I was carrying the GoPro and we walked into this market, and keep in mind, like, everyone that we had met in Mauritania, the nicest, friendliest people. Until a camera was introduced when I'm speaking with this one man. And I wasn't filming him. I was very respectfully asking him where I should go in the market, where does the market go? So what happened was he followed me all the way through the market and tracked me down and was asking, I was speaking Arabic with him, he was asking me in Arabic, why did you take my picture? He was saying you took my picture. And I pulled out the GoPro in the back where the display was, and I showed him, and I said, look, there's no picture, there's no video of you. I swear, I let him watch the videos. We got to the point where there was about 15 people crowded around us. Wow. And he's starting to get kind of angry, and people are starting to, kind of shout and see what's going on. And that's when Mark comes up and is like, look, there's no video, there's no photo, grabs the GoPro out of my hand, takes it apart, goes like that, and then walks away. He's like, let's go. And so we quickly get out of there.
Our Airbnb host, we asked him a little bit about that because they actually didn't want to be filmed.
I think what she was explaining to us was this idea of tradition and culture versus modernity and social media. We never want to be intrusive, we never want to be disrespectful. We only want to interact with the people there and get to know them and hear their stories.
We are about to go do a tea ceremony with our Airbnb host, and should be pretty fun. Flip those lights on. Here we go. Scooby-Doo.
Drunken sober, pass me that rum, come no sober. Drunken can't sober, drunken can't sober, drunken can't sober, pass me that rum, come no sober.
So our Airbnb host invited us to a tea ceremony, and honestly it was one of the most euphoric, most amazing things that I've ever experienced in another culture. It's literally a ceremony to bring people together and talk. We in the US like puns, just so you know. Do you know what a pun?
Yes.
Yes. Say a pun. Do you know a pun?
Par exemple, tu fais genre indiquer.
Ah, avec deux mots, okay.
Yeah, they're really dumb.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, like eggs, excellent. Yeah, excellent. There's.
You have a good omelet? Excellent.
In the U.S., they're called dad jokes because our dads make the worst jokes.
Really?
Whether they're from different cultures or they're all from Mauritania or wherever, it just brings people together.
She's like, you're wasting all my tea. Okay.
I actually don't drink coffee. I only drink tea. So for me, this was quite an experience because this tea does not pale in comparison to any of the tea I've had in the U.S. Like, very strong, a distinct taste. It is much sweeter. It's like kind of like a Moroccan tea where it is very sweet, but in a way that doesn't overpower the tea. But what's interesting about the whole process is it comes out in 3 waves. So it takes about an hour. And so basically you're brewing the same one batch of tea 3 times. So the first time you do it, it's really strong. Second time, a little less, and the third time, not at all. And so they're each labeled 3 different types. So the first is called death tea, and the second one is called life, and the third one is called love. It's heavily caffeinated and very strong. Like it's really good. It gives a kick in the pants.
Man,
I understand now why they don't drink. They like caffeine.
Do you mind if I take a picture?
Please, no, go. He loves pictures.
It was so lovely though, being in their home. We sat with their whole family. One of the daughters was making the tea. She was the one that was doing the tea ceremony with us.
There's been a lot of traditions I'd love to bring home, but this is one of those traditions that I definitely want to do here. It's a way to bring people together to talk. That to me is the most amazing part about it. It's not about the tea, it's not about buying the tea set, it's the fact that you can bring a few people together and talk about something. Yeah.
And we ended up staying there for 3 or 4 hours.
It was a long time.
4 hours. We ended up having dinner with them.
They brought out this amazing goat leg that had been roasting all day. So it comes out, it's like perfect. They like put the fat and the liver all in these skewers and they've been cooking with it all day. You literally they give you a ton of bread and you just pick pieces off this goat and you just eat it, and it incredible.
Just ripped this thing to shreds. It was so good.
If Ricky and I had had the chance and nobody else was there, I'm pretty sure I would have ripped that from his hands and just.
That right there kind of epitomizes the hospitality that we experience in Mauritania.
Yeah.
We are invited, we first are staying in this incredible Airbnb with these great hosts, and then all of a sudden we're invited into their home for a special tea ceremony that they're doing just for us. And then they have prepared this whole meal for us after the tea ceremony. We stayed in their house like 4 hours to like 11 p.m.
Our Airbnb was not far from their house, but the entire family walked us home. On the flight there were a few Americans on our flight. I overheard what they were saying, and one of them had traveled to Nouakchott many times, and she was explaining to a guy who had never been there what to expect. And one of the things that she was saying was, the reason I keep coming back is because of the people. And after I had that experience with the tea and the goat in this family, I completely understood why she said that and why she came back. Because you can always have your skepticism of what this country is going to be like, who the people are going to be like, but hearing that and seeing what I saw, it was absolutely true, and I would absolutely travel there again just for the people.